Greetings, Metanthropes. I am your host and narrator, John, and welcome to your introductory session. Tonight, we are joined by the THC, the handsome cunts, and they enter a new world to discover in our game Metanthropes. In a quiet corner of an expansive multiverse, in a modern world much like our own, a group of strangers have come together. Guided by the invisible hand of destiny, they find themselves inexplicably drawn to an age opera house, a relic of forgotten elegance. Within its walls, an enigmatic performance unfolds. Little do they know that each of them is a metanthrope, gifted with a unique, extraordinary ability. What will happen and which machinations led them there is up to them to figure out. So, as we mentioned, our story begins a little after you have undergone your metamorphosis, or at least you have you realize your powers and you actually started to practice them. As we said, our hammers, who is called Magnus's, for example, meta powers, manifested themselves for a very early age. But it's up to just recently the story that they actually discovered that they can jump much higher than ordinary people and stuff like that. So basically, these last few, let's say, weeks of your life, you're practicing your first 3 levels on the meta powers, while also being very, very careful not to show to others that you do not trust. You don't want to be seen as a freak or an outcast or something potentially government might want to arrest or experiment or get into trouble, lose endanger your loved ones, endanger your place in society and whatnot. So you're up to your understanding. You have been very thoroughly and carefully doing your tests very privately. But as the word of the Metanthrope suggests, besides being a meta-powered individual, you're also a person that needs to pay their bills, work their jobs, most probably, and do social responsibilities. For whatever of the above reasons, our journey, our story begins during a night that you were invited, have received an invitation to an opera house called Scala Opera. And whatever that reason may be, perhaps you were... your agent, off the top of my head now, your agent Magnus told you, your manager, that you should go to that event. Perhaps your therapy group, which will deal with your your trauma, Kenny, suggested that you should visit this opera to recreational means. Or perhaps during one of your mountaineering voyages, Marcus, you've heard a voice while climbing. It's a phenomenon which actually is a real life phenomenon that discovered recently. I think it's called the third person phenomena, which some climbers, when they are in very high altitudes and endangering themselves, they hear a voice suggesting them something to do. And let's say that one of these voices actually told you to visit that opera. So you, for whatever reason you want, whether you want it or not, maybe you have other things on your mind, maybe it's just a social responsibility for you, you start by getting towards there. As I have already moved you to a new scene, you should see like you're in a street, yeah, and maybe see the other 2 protagonists in a very small map, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say one and barely see Magnus. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I moved them. You cannot move yet. It's still a cinematic mode. It's still a cutscene. The game is still paused. But also, I would like to say that this area includes an ambient, which includes like some city sounds, like cars passing by, stuff like that. You can also lower that volume or increase it from the musical note on the top right screen. And I will continue with my narration. Better take a sip. All right. You are walking and getting near Scala Opera. It is an old, outside Scala Opera, an old, forgotten melody lingers in the air, carried by the whispers of time. Neon lights, once vibrant and alive, now flicker with the hesitant breath of a bygone era. The grand facade, once adorned with elegance, now wears a cloak of abandonment. As the world continues its hurried pace, a few solitary souls drift by, the echoes of their footsteps merging with the sighs of the wind. So you walk around the city, let's say it's New York City or, the new Johnny York City, doesn't really matter this timeline where we are. But the night, the sun begins to settle, and behind the skyscrapers, and it's a bit of a chilly afternoon. You're walking, and there are a few cars passing by. The sounds of sirens and commotion on the far edges of the city. And where you go, you see, coincidentally, at least two other souls walking beside you. We're still in a cinematic mode, so I will take the liberty of walking your characters for you. The first one to arrive was Kenny Cosmic, who took a glance of the empty, at least from the outside, from the closed window doors, pondering if they're at the right place or not. So the logo is still there, some of the letters flicker and whatnot, but you also arrive at the same exact time. You don't have to describe yourselves just yet. Give me one more description and then the cinematic will be officially over. The night embrace tightens, and as the first rumbles of a distant thunder resonate, the charm of the opera becomes all the more palpable. Dark clouds weave intricate patterns across the sky. Powerful gust of wind brushes past, the kind that stirs the soul to seek shelter from an impending tempest. The air hums with an unspoken invitation, beckoning those who dare to step within to explore the mysteries concealed behind its time-worn doors, and perhaps unravel the stories woven into the tapestry of time. So as this wind brushes behind your back, one of you, doesn't really matter who, opens the door, and you realize that these two other strangers want to enter the same area at the same. You all enter, and the wind blows behind your backs, and the door closes. Then you find silence. The first thing that I want you to do is to describe your characters as I unpause your physical appearance, but also their the expression on their face, like their mood and whatnot. Let's start from left to right with Magnus.
Okay, so Magnus is a very large gentleman. He is 2 meters tall, 150 kilos. You're a typical strongman type build. As discussed previously, his talents for his physicality arrived as a child, and he used that towards training, lifting, lumberjacking, things like that. And as he got older, he realized that it wasn't just natural genetics that was his benefit, but there was something more. This led him to try to discreetly move himself away from strongman competitions, as he didn't want to have the publicity of his dormant skills become weaponized by the government. Magnus is a very, very open, very friendly person, even though his demeanor would be quite scary and over-encumbersome. However, he carries a cheeky smile on his face, None of his clothes really fit very well. That's why his avatar doesn't have the hoodie closed, because they don't make clothes for this guy's size. But he's comfortable in what he wears. He's very comfortable in most situations. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. He's Swedish as well, but his thoughts will sound like me, and he might have a different voice when he decides to talk.
All right,
I have a
perfect.
question.
Let's move on with Kenny.
Yeah, Kennedy's a 30-year-old Top Gun pilot, 30 years old naval pilot who started to discover his abilities, and kindly, towards the end of his naval career, after he was asked to teach at Top Gun, decided to wander off. And he's about 190 pounds. He's got a he's got a brown leather jacket with all different naval ship patches on it, as you would have seen in the movies. Black BDUs. And a cocky, fighter pilot from New York.
All right. Let's proceed with, last but not least, Marcus.
All right, Marcus is a little shorter than Magnus. He's not as heavily built, but he's well toned, well strength. He like gives Marcus Magnus like a quick look over. He's as you see he has a huge beard. His hair's like kind of long with like kind of like a ponytail in the back. He looks like one of those like outdoorsman kind of looking guys. He wears like a big like dark like outdoors leather coat, and he has a basic shirt. He looks makes himself look like nondescriptive, but he kind of like gives a wary look sometimes. And as he's kind of walking by a few as he's walking through like an alleyway or something, like light bulbs kind of like flicker a little bit or kind of brightens, and he kind of just looks at this quietly, and he's just kind of like just looking around. And just when he does talk, he has like a really deep gravelly voice. He's a very quiet guy, but he's more of actions and words kind of guy.
Speaking of actions, as you step into the silent theater, the air crackles with anticipation, hinting at the profound connection that binds you three. I would like you to open your character sheet and make the first official roll of the story, which will be a consciousness roll. Consciousness rolls are for memory recollection and inner dialogue and questioning reality and stuff like that. I don't want to give too much, so open your character sheet and left click on your consciousness number. This will be the first official roll. Remember, as we start with a failure from Magnus, you can spend destiny. As now, you should be able to see a huge button that says spend destiny to reroll. It says how much destiny you have, so you can calculate. So poor Marcus only has 3 destiny, whereas Magnus has... Oh, and the one with 18 destiny was the only one successful. Of course, you can gamble and spend destiny to gain more, but with a 14%, I don't think that's easy. Ooh, Magnus did gamble, and he was also successful. So unless Marcus wants to spend anything, I will continue on with the results.
I'm good. I'm not gonna waste what I barely have.
Sure. A wise decision. But I will start with you. You find yourself kind of lost within your thoughts. You really think about maybe if you're giving out too much with the flickering of light to others, and you don't want to draw too much attention to you. You're constantly thinking about your meta powers and their capabilities and how they are part of the natural world, and you are deep within the civilization now, and how you need to behave perhaps underneath persona or sorts. But anyway, you don't catch what you're supposed to catch. Whereas the other two have a profound feeling, and as they stand next to each other, their gaze with one another lingers a little bit more than they do with Marcus, but they have a feeling that it's not a coincidence that all three of them walked this exact very moment into this mysterious opera at the same time. An opera where, at least on the outside, looked abandoned, whereas in the inside looks a little bit different, that I will explain shortly. There's only one level of success, that's the only thing that you catch. Success, but you could go higher, but not with 19 and 14 stats. So you should be very, very glad that you succeeded on this roll. So unless you want to instantly roleplay something about your discovery, I can continue with a description of the reception. So you still have an option to roleplay if you want to, not losing any opportunity.
Okay. I get this feeling in my chest and my heart that's telling me you guys are meant to be here at the same time as me. Do you feel weird, or is this strange for you too?
And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, man. As I opened up my jacket and popping a piece of gum. A piece?
I love my chewing gum, yes.
Like a piece?
He shakes his head no, and he kind of just shrugs and just looks around.
Let's cat back in.
We continue then with the narration as Magnus openly stated that now stepping beyond the threshold, an enchanting revelation awaits, defying the exterior's cloak of neglect. The grandeur of the Scala Opera unfurls within, an unexpected transformation that captures breaths in suspended awe. The main hall, radiantly bathed in the embrace of modern renovations, stands as a testament to timeless beauty. Above, three splendid chandeliers, each like placed underneath each of you, illuminate the expanse below in a symphony of warmth and light. The reception area unfolds as a polished haven where history and modernity dance in harmonious embrace. There are also fresh flowers and fresh blooms with beautiful flowers around, and a twin marble staircases ascend left and right. You're not alone. There is an usher here, a person which is on the younger age, wearing the traditional usher uniform with the hat, like the of a bygone era, with the hat, with the one with the crosses here and there, with it's like a uniform, much like a pilot, maybe. No, not exactly like a pilot, of course. That they are writing something behind their desk. They appear not to have given you, over here as I'm hovering. They appear not to have noticed you just yet.
The usher hasn't noticed this?
Yeah, I will use they, them for that card.
Okay.
Checking tickets?
Huh? Oh, guests have arrived. Oh, the show is about to begin. Please, oh my. He looks at Magnus, a bit startled or something. Says, oh my, may I see your tickets? The show is about to begin. Yes, you might actually catch it if you rush.
Magnus frantically goes through his pockets trying to find his ticket. Very disorganized.
Yeah, you have it. You have it, at least, yeah. Thankfully, all of you have your tickets. The usher proceeds to open the door. And who goes first? You can move your characters as you wish now. You can move them with the clicking and moving the arrows or drag and drop. Each hexagon is an area of 2 meters or something like 6.5 feet. Wide, height, and from across all areas. So he checks Magnus first, and then proceeds to open a secondary door, and waves that you enter inside the main areas. You realize the corridors left and right ascend to the opera's upper realms, which apparently you don't have access to. So if you all go through that, you realize that the opera's interior has a scarlet velvet carpet with black engravings that weave an enigmatic tapestry. To our captain, they conjure the sprawling constellations that adorn the night sky, reminding Kenny of the constellations that you see during a clear night sky when you fly high above in the night. To Magnus, they remind of the pathways to pathways of neurons, of the muscles, the signals that the brain sends to muscles. And whereas to Marcus, it reminds them of the arcs that the lightning makes when it chains and creates thunderbolts in the night sky or through your fingertips. You enter, as I guess, the grand area. As the usher, once the last of you enters, say behind you, enjoy the show.
You guys have popcorn?
Kenny, no popcorn. No popcorn. Keep it clean, please. And then closes a bit rudely the door behind you, like once Kenny enters. Now, I would like all of you to make a perception roll, and I will pause before I let you move. And let's go with the results of the perception roll. Ooh, almost a critical. Very, very good. Followed by a very, very bad roll. And a pretty decent roll. So we have a variety in our results. Maybe Marcus or even Kenny want to spend one of their destiny?
No, I'm good.
No, good.
Let's start again with Marcus, who's fixated now on looking at the floor, looking at the gravings of the lightning, and thinking all about your meta power. You're still lost, never really paying mind to what the big guy said once you entered, what the usher said. You're wondering, why am I here? I'm not even really going to operas. What's going on? And you notice that there are a lot of people here, like at least half a dozen or so. You just check your ticket, and it doesn't really has any number, so you guess you can sit wherever you like. Yeah, there is a huge curtain up ahead of the stage, which is approximately 30 meters ahead, or like, I guess, 90 feet. As for the rest of you, I will give you a more detailed description of the area and the people within. The first things I will say are also obviously visible to everyone, including Marcus. The heart of the Scala Opera unveils in a grandeur, stretching like 50 meters, as I said, and 30 meters to the breadth, and it has a height of over 10 meters, which is like 30 feet. There's an aura of enchantment upon all who tread its hallowed floor. A sense, the other two notice that there is only one person in one of the areas called as a balconies on the top left. Maybe, let me see the results again. Maybe Kenny realizes that over here is tall woman of African descent with a shaved head, but it is Magnus who notices something strange once they enter and they look over the balcony. This woman is being illuminated by a device, but not just like it seems like in the size of a mobile phone, but actually with 3 levels of success, you notice that it's something that like a piece of glass that projects images like holograms around her. So you've never seen anything like it. So one of the first things that you notice is that. You'll see the canvas of rich burgundy curtains conceals the heart of the theater. The show remains an unopened treasure as the main hall stands as a silent stage waiting to come alive with the magic of performance. Magnus and Kenny notice one in front of them, a very, very short, elderly person with a white beard and dressed in really old-fashioned clothes, like very, very retro, like with a Charlie Chaplin type of hat, like a coat that seems to be from another era. And you get a glance at the other people, and let's say only Magnus also notices that over here is a little girl who is the only one who is not sitting, who is actually walking around dressed in strange clothes, but also like barefoot and with a bit of a dirty feet, much like it's maybe a girl that is homeless or something, but also dressed in Asian with Asian heirlooms. You can't really, you're not super educated, I'm guessing, as a pro athlete, so you can't really pinpoint where she's from. And now you are free to sit wherever you like. It is first this elderly gentleman who is the closest to you, who makes a notion of like scoops over if you want to sit closer to where he does, and maybe even extends their arm and say,
"Look at Magnus. Over towards that guy. We're going over there."
I have walked a very far way to get here, so yes, I take the closest seat. Let's go.
"Oh my, welcome," says the elderly person. As the difference in height between the two of you is astonishing. That man's like 1 meter and 50, like 5'1" or something, and you're like 2 meters. So the height is like tremendous. Like it's almost comical that she says, "Oh my," you're like, "The twice of me, young man, twice the size of I have." Fascinating.
Someday you maybe grow like me, you get big and strong like a bear.
"Oh, I'm afraid the time that my metabolism allowed this old man to rise in height has long passed. Chavo Chutekian says, and he removes politely his hat, "To your service."
Well, thank you. I have a little gift might help. Pulls out a little vial of what looks like prescription tablets that says height enhancer. They're really just a placebo at which he sells. But he thought that he would be kind and hand these little sugar tablets over just to make the older man feel better.
I'm guessing like your character is selling supplements as a pro athlete and something like that. I will allow it. Very, very strange. Oh my! What is that? Says I did
The
not know that
performance
they
enhancement.
sell things these days. Wow, I must say that I'm quite fascinated. Did you ingest that or?
Me, I took for a year, but I don't take no more. No. I don't need it, but it'll help you grow. It's miracle grow. Yeah, you like.
The chicks like it too.
Well, we'll maybe have that conversation over a drink.
As this little girl moves around the theater, and she seems to be talking to this woman over here, and you clearly, all of you see that she's extending her hand as if like she's asking for money, and you see that woman like checking her pockets and doing that notion, shrugging and said like, I don't have anything or something. And then Marcus, again, as you look to your floor, you hear a whisper unlike any other whisper you've heard before. It charges up a bit before you actually hear the words, and it goes such like, you should raise your head, see the theater above. You're gonna miss the performance. Make a perception roll or an awareness roll. I will leave it up to you. Perception is basically relying on your senses, where awareness is relying on your intuition and instincts. I'm guessing whichever is higher for you, Marcus. But
So it's like, since if it's a 48, that's better than a 22.
Sure, yeah, 48 is much better than a 22. So
Yeah, I
I'm
will
guessing
do
you're
the
gonna go with perception. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 42 is just enough to realize that, well, you heard those whispers while the little girl was actually talking to that woman and asking for money. So for some reason, you're pretty certain that she couldn't have possibly whispered that to you. But you also see that person next to you is a little young man who's like sitting like this with eyes closed and wearing microphones and listening to music, lips totally shut. So you actually, just a simple success, you're wondering who the hell just whispered inside my head. Like, doesn't really make sense to you. But also, that little girl is looking at you with a smirk on her face. That proves it. No one else is looking at you right now.
I kind of just look around, like glance around, look at her, raise an eyebrow, and just kind of like shrugs. But he's just watching, keeping a good look on her, while he's just kind of just waiting to see what happens.
Meanwhile, as we turn our attention to Kenny, what is Kenny thinking and doing right now?
He's just checking out the theater. Kind of taking everything in. Trying to see if he gets any kind of particular feel. Got my new compadre here and a guy sitting next to us.
Can you also
Everybody's
give me a
feel.
perception roll?
There you go.
It is a failure, but I remind you that you do have 18 destiny, and you're not gonna keep them once the session ends. That's up to you. I cannot force a player to reroll, but if you want, you can click on that button.
What is it? The Destiny, you said?
Yeah, exactly where you rolled on the chat. There's a button that says spend destiny to reroll. You can click that and it will automatically roll. But again, only if you want to. But it is a fair warning from the narrator that 18 destiny is quite a lot, I think.
Not at this moment.
Perfect. Then I will only give you that you have a sense of someone is looking at you, but you just can't put your finger where that person is. And as a few moments of anticipation build up, our protagonist will soon figure out that the performance has already begun. Do you do anything else this very moment? Any of you?
Well, I think that because I've befriended the old man, Magnus is going to ask him, so you come to this opera often? You enjoy opera singing or dancing shows? Is this your kind of rodeo, as they say?
Oh my, yes, I've seen this show quite a many times, more than I care to remember. And trust me when I say that this is the performance of a lifetime. You will never be the same again after watching this show. I best hope that you are prepared for that show. And he gives you a tap to your biceps and says, I think you should be. And then he looks around at maybe the other guests of the opera he has like an exuberating enthusiasm. His little feet that cannot even reach the ground go like this, and he sit and he clapping like a little child, although he's very, very old, obviously. Maybe make an awareness roll.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna give you only 5% bonus, so you can right click on your 15% and give you a 5% because you befriended that character with giving him drugs to enhance his height. And maybe he's a bit more open to you, that's why hence the 5% bonus. That's something small there. Nah, you can't really. You're given a 15%, so only 5, but even with 15, it's okay, but you still you can't quite read that old person. He seems to be super excited for some reason. You don't know many opera people anyway.
Well, from his demeanor anyway, his overjoyedness, I mirror this. So I suddenly become very excited for what's about to be shown to me, as I've never been to an opera or a setting like this before. And nudge over to my cosmonaut buddy and say, this is supposed to be one of the best shows. We're going to have so much fun.
By the looks of the guy, but dude, where's the concession stands?
Do you need food? I have food.
I come into these places, like in New York, and we have you got soda machines over here, you got popcorn, you got candy. At least I got my trusty bubble gum.
I reach into the other pocket and pull out a sports drink with my face on it.
Oh, snap.
And say, if you like, you have this. It's not my favorite flavor. This is a very orange tango-y kind of weird thing. You have it, you like.
I used to have guys play tricks on me like this at the academy, man. I'm going to pass on this one. Give it to our buddy.
So I also offer it to the old man.
Kind of hallucinating or something.
The old man it starts laughing by looking at your face. While in the meantime, the little girl goes and asks, could you spare me $1 to these people, to this young man who was, oh no, I don't have anything, go away. And then turns to Marcus and asks the same, but she smiles, and I want Marcus to roll me an awareness roll.
Okay.
This time you don't have a choice, it's just awareness. Let's see if 22. Oh, very nice. Inside her eyes, you see a maturity level that transcends her age, and also like as a person who is using publicly persona yourself, you realize that this girl simply masquerades as a beggar, and it's only one level of success, but I cannot give you everything. But you realize that this is a facade, like a masquerade for her, and also as she speaks out loud and her lips move and extends her arm and says, "Would you possibly spare me $1, kind sir?" Says inside your head, and you realize it's the same voice now. "Prepare yourself, kineticist, or your gift soon will be needed." How do you respond to any of the two things happening?
Could you repeat that? You kind of cut out for a second for me.
Yeah, I think the microphone doesn't catch everything. It's the whispers, and then says, "Prepare yourself, kineticist, for your gifts will be needed soon."
He kind of just like gives her a wearily look and pulls out a dollar and kind of nods.
She takes it very fast and says, "Why, thank you, kind sir." She smiles playfully and walks away from you and starts bothering the other people inside the opera. And with that, the grand curtain opens. Maybe we also hear the sound of a gong, like a that keeps everyone to their feet. I will change something here. We're still on the same scene. The scene hasn't changed just yet. Something. The Grand Opera, the Grand Curtain opens itself, and yeah, there it is. Of course, what you're gonna see in this, in the map of the virtual tabletop platform, is not gonna be exactly what I'm gonna describe to you. But imagine it is actually a wooden floor. There are some random things left and right. But as for the tapestry that lies on the back, it is different. And it's actually divided into 3 large segments, 2 of which mean nothing to you. But one of the 3, for each of you specifically, says quite a lot. And in fact, I would like you to describe each of your segment, starting from left to right from Magnus. It actually depicts something that is specifically tied to your metamorphosis, like to your selective evolution and to your meta power and to yourself. So it could be anything you want. And as you begin to think and imagine, I will give you some time because it's a surprise to imagine what it's going to be like. It should be super simplistic, or should be detailed with colors or hieroglyphs or whatever comes into your imagination. But it clearly depicts, for example, for Kenny, your cosmic connection. Perhaps the moment that you were traumatized or something you saw in the night sky and it gave you the dark energy projection, entirely up to you. And the third part on the right depicts certainly the freak accident that Marcus experienced that gave them electrokinesis, made them who they are today. As you begin to imagine it, someone appears from the stage. It's actually someone you saw before. It's the usher. The usher now who has removed their hat and placed them between their underneath their armpit, and now has curls of red hair. They are a bit of younger, as I said, at the age. They may have also some pimples, and they have sparkling blue, cold eyes. And they speak with a very dramatic, like a performer voice, and says, Act 1, enter Metanthrope, and makes a circle around themselves, showing the tapestries behind them. You realize that most of the attendees don't really pay attention, but just the three of you who are shocked by the images that we see. Now let's see what we see on the left side from Magnus's metamorphosis.
So Magnus sees a battle of beasts, bears, dragons, mythological creatures, massive towering beasts battling each other in a struggle for power and strength. And above them, a large dark moon that is emitting light as if it's like an eclipsed moon, with that jarring light tearing through as the landscape is ravaged with dead trees and fire, brimstone, all the sort of things that you would expect from a hellish land battle.
Wow, very, very graphic. Let's go with Kenny.
He just has pictures of being in the Afghan war and flying his jets and out of battle, strewn. Yeah.
All right. What about the third tapestry on the right side?
All right. So what Marcus sees is, it looks like a very like you've seen like some of the Picasso kind of paintings, like the Starry Night.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that, but what it is that it's a large forested area, and there is literally a man standing on a hill, and it seems like there's a large mountain in the background, and this guy basically is like, he's hiking, and you see a storm basically blankets the top of the night, and just a huge lightning bolt blasts right through him and hits him right there, and you can see his whole body just lights up and just arcs through everything and just starts causing fires around him.
Whoa. Oh, for each of you, as I said, the other two might not say much. It could be random art, but each of you has one speaks to the very core of your soul. It depicts something very, very personal to you that you may have shared with no living soul, and you realize that exactly what it portrays your metamorphosis. The narrator, let's say on stage, the usher, continues and says, "You thought all of your life that you were alone, gifted with a remarkable gift, hidden from the world's eye view. Alas, I am here, to tell you that it's not the case, and you are not alone. And in fact," it takes a moment to look to Marcus, and to Kenny, and to Magnus. "Here you will find others of your kin, others that are both have transcended from being a simple anthrope to a metanthrope." And then the narrator, the usher, claps their hands, and the tapestries fall, and through them something unexplainable happens. I hope it really does, because I'm doing something. Oh man. QP, can you add particle effect of the stars as I'm describing? It's with the effects control, particle effect, the stars. Ah, yeah, there it goes. Sorry, it actually happened. So imagine what happens is by the second tap, underneath the second tapestry, something which cannot be illusion, cannot be optical effects, like stars start to shine among you, and you see constellations and nebulas as if you are inside the sun and stars, and says Act 2, the multiverse, as now you open yourself to a vast, a far larger landscape, a chessboard unlike none you've even imagined before. You realize that you are part of it. A truly marvelous and wonderful place. And then the narrator is interrupted. It's interrupted by the woman on the balcony over here, who gets up, makes a notion like that to her weird device that produces lights, and the holograms from this device change and like get synced into this glass thing device, and says with a thick African accent, enough with your performances. This is not performance, this is an audition, and we want to see what you can do as a coalition. Prepare yourselves, Metanthropes. And by that, you see many people from the crowd, starting with the man next to Marcus, who was wearing the headsets, and even the show has started was paying attention at all. See Marcus, you see, because you're the closest to him, he's starting to have some spasms. You can see the veins on his neck popping, and then he starts yelling, but the yell from a scream turns into electrifying sounds. And then they see lots of figures left and right happening the same to them, as skin starts to fall off, and where muscles and bones should be, electrical parts and circuits and machine parts start to emerge with a very brutal and violent procedure, and they all scream and start to transmorph into something else. And with that, we shall have our second break. So I'll move to the next scene, and we're gonna roll for initiative. So let's have our break at this moment, and then prepare yourselves for combat. All right.
I'm so excited!
Get ready for it. We start with an initiative roll, much like many other RPGs. It is a reflexes roll for everyone here involved. And going from the best result to the lower result, you all get to play your turn. Once everybody has played their turn, a round completes, and then we begin the second round of the same cycle. What is a cycle? Cycle is 2 consecutive rounds. Pretty much that's it. During my turn, so what can I do during my turn? Each character has a main action slot, which is activating most of the meta powers or main, like the strikes, the punches that you throw as your main action is the main thing that you do. If you open your meta powers tab on your character sheet, on the right side there is a stopwatch emoji, and underneath it says main action, focused action, stuff like that. This is which action slot it takes. Besides main actions, we also have an extra action, which is a supportive role to a secondary or a supplement role that you want to make. For example, you can use your main action to punch someone, but also activate use your extra action slot to make a perception roll and look around for the environment or see for weaknesses in their armor or whatnot. For example, all your meta powers Magnus activations are extra actions, so they allow you to punch and also activate hoist and hurl, for example. And you can also move 10 hexagons around in the area. If you you can move 10 hexagons around the area. You can spend your main action to perform double movement. And as you can see now that Magnus is drag and dropping, if you go above 20 meters, the rest of the hexagons will turn yellow, and that's it because you will need to spend your main action to go that far. Okay, and also climbing above seats might cost you like terrain extra movement because it's difficult terrain. I think up to now it's pretty standard TTRPG stuff. I will also add a few more, then you can ask me stuff. Reaction. Each character has one reaction they can do, which is an action performed outside of their initiative order as a response to another character's actions or movement. So, for example, if you are about to get punched in the face, you can spend your reaction to evade, or basically do something reactively before, and it happens before any other action happens. If two or more characters want to spend the reaction at the same time, the one with the highest initiative goes first. You can also perform a focused action. A focused action is an action that requires you not making anything else during that round, neither moving nor performing reactions. For example, the actions of Kenny Cosmic, the Quintessence, and Distance Manipulation require your full concentration and happen with a full action. So you won't be able to move or evade attacks if you do them. So you need to be well placed when you're going to do them. You can also wait, which is like the do nothing and allow the next player to play and then resume your turn during at any other point in initiative before this round ends. And one more final thing, I promise, it's the multi-action. Your main action slots, and only your main action slots, can be divided to multi-actions. So for example, your main action slot is you can strike, you can punch, okay? But let's say you want to punch 3 times. You can do so by performing a multi-action, and what it does is you apply a -10 reduction on all main action slots that you attempt for each number of total main actions attempted. So for example, if you attempt to strike someone 3 times, all 3 rolls will have a -30%. If you want to perform 5 multi-actions, main actions, all 5 of them will have a -50%. Is that clear? Okay. Again, you can ask me anytime you want. I will be here along the way, but I think we are kind of ready to start our action scene. And again, I'm a bit anxious. I must say that maybe 5 of them is too much for only 3 people. But let's see. Just don't hold it against me if bad things happen to your character. Now,
Press it used to it.
I really hope you get to destroy them, but it's gonna be quite challenging, I'm pretty certain. And as you can see on the top screen, this is your portraits happen. You can click on on the dice on your character's portrait, and they will roll your initiative for that round. As I will start playlist action. So you can click on the portrait on the top of your screen on the map, which has a die in the middle of it. You can click on that die and you will roll your initiative. Do you see the portraits on the top of your screen? Yes. Excellent. Marcus has entered the initiative. You can spend your destiny to have a better initiative if you like.
I will spend destiny.
Magnus hasn't entered the initiative just yet.
And still
Magnus has entered the initiative. You're all pretty bad at this initiative, and at least, basically, I think that all of my NPCs were successful.
I'm gonna spend. Hold on.
I'm guessing that's a bit better than before, but still not something to be excited about.
I'll spend one more.
Kenny Cosmic, now it's a good time to spend one of your 20 plus initiatives.
Okay, I'm sticking with the 41.
Okay,
What do I gotta do here?
Kenny or anyone else wants to spend their destiny, you can scroll down and see where the button is. You click on that button.
Just where's that?
I think you need to scroll a bit up because some other people rolled initiative. Yeah, if you scroll your latest initiative, it has 4 levels of failure. So go to the chat, scroll up. You're gonna see your latest initiative, and it's gonna have a button underneath which says "Spend Destiny to Reroll." I think it's a good time to do that and spend one of the 21. Get higher into your initiative, so at least you can position yourself a bit better. And
I see my character. Where's it at?
it's on the
I'm in chat. Okay, here we go.
Yes, 28 is at least successful. Pretty decent result. So I guess you're keeping that. All right, let's see who goes first as the first round of this combat begins.
Oh.
We'll have cool stuff. And yes, unfortunately for you, Cyborg's play. Oh, and the one who's just next to Marcus plays, the one who was a little uncaring young man listening to music with his eyes closed. And a cyborg out of nowhere then turns around with menacing red eyes, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna attempt to grapple you. Let's start with a grapple. So let me get over the rules real quick. Grapple is a form of a strike. So first of all, I'm gonna roll to see if I'm successful. If I will make open rolls so everyone can see, nothing behind the screen here. If I am successful, you will have a chance to spend your reaction to avoid it. Let's see. You are lucky enough, even though it seems very, very powerful and menacingly enough, it just its leg stacks a bit into the chair underneath it, and you see just grabbing it, and your no, sorry, the two playlists were playing at the same time. Yeah, you're safe. You're safe. So it moved a bit. It doesn't have to spend all of its movement, and it ended its turn. Actually, it occupies the same hexagon as you are, so that's why these two portraits are like in the same. And then haven't I pressed begin? Yeah. Next character plays, and it's a yet another cyborg, and this one go over here, move over here, and let's say how far it can go. Oh yeah, you see that they move faster than any ordinary human, so they're certainly faster than you are, and they go straight to Kenny Cosmic, and this one will attempt to run and fly and make a flying kick attack. So it will attempt a power roll, but I will also give it minus. But should they be successful, first they need to succeed on a power roll as an extra action to jump successfully, which they do. And now their attack will be more powerful if they will be successful. They are very successful, unfortunately. What you can do, Kenny, is to spend your reaction to evade that, if you want to attempt to evade that strike. You can do that by announcing that you spend your reaction, and by opening your card sheet and rolling a reflexes roll.
I was going to see if I could use my meta powers, my distance manipulation, and zoom out of the way of this. Is that possible?
Let's see. The distance manipulation requires your full focus turn.
Okay. Okay.
As for your acceleration absorption, let's say that it can be activated reactively, and circumstantially now you can absorb its extra damage that with his jump, but it will hit you if it hits you. Whereas if you choose to roll a reflexes roll, which I will give you a 10% bonus because you see it coming and jumping, and say it takes it some few seconds, you will avoid the attack altogether. But obviously you're not as good at reflex as you are with creativity, so you have the dilemma of choosing between creativity roll, which is gonna reduce the damage, but you're gonna be hit, or attempt a reflexes roll with a 10% bonus to a total of 49% to avoid the strike altogether. Up to you.
I'm going to try to avoid it. Do I
All
click
right,
the acceleration?
right click the reflexes, your character sheet on the overview of your character sheet, and then add a bonus of 10 where it says bonus, and then click roll reflexes.
Click on reflexes
Right click on reflexes,
and 10%.
and then 10% of the bonus, and then roll. That wasn't a good reflex. You can also spend destiny. Never forget to spend your lots of destiny, because quite a powerful strike is coming your way. He's flying mid-air with the kick. That was better, but still unsuccessful. You can gamble all you want.
I can roll again.
Yeah, and as many times as you want, but we always keep the last result.
Okay.
That's
8%.
I really
quite good. And
18.
you actually managed to remove 4 levels of success from his attack. Uh, so,
He was
no, actually,
avoided altogether.
uh, yeah, true, because it was a flying attack. But I think you spent one more destiny without having to, because with 4 levels of success you were successful, and you did spend one more by mistake, I guess. So QP, go ahead and award him back one destiny with the macro. And let's say that the cyborg is flying above your head, and its leg is stacking and going through the wall. So you imagine there would be a very powerful hit if it would have fallen before for you. And then the next character plays. You don't have any more reactions to act, and this one has sights for for our friend Magnus, uh, and it will start climbing over there from chair to chair. It goes much faster than anyone else, and when it reaches your area, you see that it will attempt multiple attacks against you. So it will attempt a multi-action that I discussed before, and you can spend your reaction as well, but will attempt at least 3 attacks to you. So let's see, first of all, which one is successful. The first one isn't. Second one isn't. Actually, it is, sorry. And the third one, with a minus 30 reduction, as you see, it's only, you're lucky enough that only one of the 3 is successful. Do you want to spend your reaction to evade it?
Yes. So do I roll reflexes with a bonus or?
You don't have any bonus, just your
Okay.
reflexes.
Okay.
The 93, you won't be successful. You have 8 destiny.
Let's go
then.
for a destiny.
88 still not successfully. Destiny is not on your side.
We'll do one more and then that's it.
11.
That is actually successful. So the first two strikes at the air. The last one, you see the slow motion is gonna hit you in your head, but your natural athletic prowess keeps you at your feet, and you duck and it goes above your head. And you realize they might, from the sound of the air swooping above you, they might be as powerful as you are or something. And that's something. And now the last one plays. You see that even though this little girl is right next to it, it completely ignores it and it just looks at the three of you, and it will actually attempt something that Magnus recognizes as it will attempt to do something complex. First of all, they will attempt to activate something. And they do so successfully. So with 2 levels of success, have 4 more levels of success. I'm testing the system. And now they will attempt a multi-action to remove the seat and unlodge it, remove the seat from the floor, and then attempt to throw it at one of you. I will choose randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it is to Kenny Cosmic. And with extra 4 levels of success, let me go real quick to the mechanics of this game, how you throw stuff around. You already spent your reflexes to avoid the flying super kick that was coming your way. So unfortunately, by the time that you look that cyborg stacking its leg inside the wall, now you see a chair coming your way. Let me make sure that it is successful. Because it might not be successful because you already made a multi-action, but it adds 4 more successes to that. Yes, it's quite successful. So damage you are about to receive, depending on the weight of this thingy, and the weight of
Things
this
are pretty damn
thingy.
good.
Yeah, it did pretty damn good indeed. Let's see how much might weigh this chair. Around 20 kilos, I guess, more than 5 kilos, more than 10 kilos. Yeah, so it is 1d10 plus 10. Could have been worse. So 1d10 plus 10. This is a total amount of damage that you receive. Only 12 damage. And I will also, unfortunately for you, give you 12 damage, Kenny Cosmic, minus 12. It worked. Yes, it worked. And but also receive a condition. Conditions are part of this game, and basically they the πίνακας είναι εδώ. They make your life and your character a little bit more difficult by implying penalties and whatnot to your character sheet. I will do that for you, don't you worry. I'm just searching for a table. It's the same as the noun conditions with 2 levels of success. Yeah, you have skin injury and muscle injury, so basically it reduces your reflexes by 10% and your power by 5% as you are swollen and bruised by that chair that was hurled towards you. But other than that, the damage wasn't that much. And now it is the time of the 5th You know what? I'm gonna take a decision right here, right now. It's gonna be just 4. I have a bad feeling about this. So it's time for the first protagonist to play, and it is Kenny Cosmic. So Kenny Cosmic, it's your turn to play.
All right. I want to take a crouching position behind my chair, pull out my Beretta, and fire a shot at the one who, over top of me, has his foot lodged in the wall.
For the one behind you.
So, I roll my shot at.
All right, you turn around. I will give you a 25% bonus on that roll. Sorry, I just misclicked. Never mind that. That was my clicking. You go to your possessions. You have a Beretta 9mm pistol in your possessions tab. Do you see it?
Yes.
If you, it says attack type firearm, and then it has perception 46. Right click on your perception 46.
Okay.
And then add to it a 25% bonus because you're very close to it, and it also kinda stuck there. So, it is still, you weren't successful though. You can spend Destiny if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll spend Destiny.
The way you see it, you're gonna miss.
I
You're gonna
really
miss
suck.
again. Your hands are
shit.
shaking. Your hands are shaking.
I guess the bruised arm is like,
Oh, yeah. Are you gonna hit it or not? It's up to you. Still 17 Destiny to go.
I mean, might as well, bud.
hell yeah.
That
Yeah,
one,
that's yeah.
focus, you crack your neck, and then you can click the button, use Beretta pistol 9mm underneath the spend Destiny. And it will automatically roll for damage and whatnot.
What's the damage at?
Click the
I
button
got you.
underneath the
Yeah.
spend Destiny, use Beretta, and it will automatically roll everything. Ooh, you have a 0, that means 1 more damage. Now, you have a total of 75 damage, as you can see in this box over there. If you click on it, you can see the dice involved, but you rolled quite a lot. It could be more, it could be less. You can spend Destiny to reroll that damage. It rerolls all the dice all together. Or if you're satisfied with 75 damage and see where it goes, it's up to you.
I think 75 is pretty good.
All right. So you hit it with 75 damage, and you realize that it's actually armored, so not all of the damage is being received. Of course, some bullets hit it on its back. It makes some mechanical sounds, but then it turns around menacingly, and it's far from dead. But nonetheless, you did damage it, and it was the first damage of the combat. Now, from a protagonist made. Now, what you still have? You still have 10 hexagons of movement, and your extra action, which can be perception rolls to focus on your environment and focus on your antagonist. Could be like manipulation rolls to convince the others around you to do something. It could be creativity rolls to find it's basically up to you what else you want Kenny to be focused at this moment.
I want to go a reposition. So I'm not in the line of fire from the guy who just threw chairs at me as well. So I'm going to position myself tactically or, be able to evade or another attack.
All right, you can start drag and dropping your character or moving them with the arrows, and you're gonna see. Click on the token first, and then you can drag and drop it.
Okay. How many spaces can you move?
Up to 10 hexagons. It should appear green wherever you want to go. And if it goes yellow, then you cannot go.
So, okay. I'm going to make my way over towards Marcus to give him some to move. Oh, wait, I'm trying to move my character here.
Yeah, no, there you got it. Now you got it. Okay, that's it. You can move more if you want to. Still have movement to go.
No, you might want to get out of the way of what I'm about to do. I say go right about there. Go to overwrite.
Maybe let's
really
say
see too
in
much on my
game
screen.
you like make something like that. The notion Marcus does for some reason.
Move that way.
Just go. Okay, can you
Screen's
then?
not that big. Screen's not that big to move. More if I could be moved by the DM.
Okay, let me. One
There you
more.
go.
Tell me when to stop. You actually can
Over
move
here.
up to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks like there is 2 of you now, but I think that should be enough. Reminder: you still have your extra action to like check for the environment or try to gain some information about his antagonists or look at the NPCs. Do whatever you want with it.
That's what I'm gonna try to get a perception on the protagonist and see what the
On the cyborgs.
Yes.
All right, roll your perception. No bonuses, no penalties. Basically, see them for the very first time. You're trying to figure out what their weaknesses might be. It's a very, very, very good roll with 4 levels of success. You realize that these are indeed things you have only read in science fiction novels or whatnot. Cyborgs, they have both organic and synthetic parts, and you realize that through their sternum, which has been bulged, and the clothes have been ripped apart, you see underneath the bones of the sternum that they have human organs that are exposed. So maybe if you hit them on the heart or in the headshots or what else, maybe their massive armor plating wore apply, and next time your shots might find their mark quite more efficiently.
Are you able to yell that to my co-parts? That what I observe? Yell to them like, yo, aim for the heart, aim for the heart.
Let's see who's next. And the next is Magnus. Magnus, you're already involved in a hand-to-hand situation. Sabo Tsutakian standing next to you, uncaring, as if he's not threatened at all by this situation. What is Magnus gonna do against this very, very threatening cyborg?
The first thing Magnus is going to do is he's going to throw a massive right hand straight to the body of the cyborg, in through, trying to crush and destroy that chest. So
All
let's
right,
do.
before you roll, just to make sure what you're trying to do, you're not performing any multi-action. It's gonna be one and done, right?
Yeah, just a single punch.
And it's gonna be a specifically aimed shot. You're not hitting randomly. You want to hit it at its heart, right?
Yeah.
Hitting it at its upper torso, it's minus 15%. So what I need you to do is open your character sheet, go to your possessions, because that's where the strike is, and where it says power 88, right click on that and add a minus 15 penalty on that.
I just typed 15. Yeah.
Yes, you just type 15, then click roll. Now you aim directly at its chest. Ooh, that's very low. That's very good. Click use strike. You accumulate 5 levels of success, which is a profoundly good success. And with 92 damage, you can reroll, of course, that. You only rolled 4, but it is your base damage that deals most of the damage. So you only rolled 1d10. So it's up to you. But with 5 levels of success, aim at its chest. It does have severe plating, so it won't be enough to pierce through it, but they do more damage, of course, than the bullets, and it's not gonna say just much, but you might actually see the results. Yes, you see the map, oily mixture of blood and of yellowish blood and oil spills left and right as you manage to sorry, some changes here, to severely wound it and make it bleed, make it crush its bones and open a hole, not enough to go through it, but you've damaged its bones, its muscles, and severely its skin. And it's also bleeding, so I'm gonna put it like that. Bleeding. Remind that each at the end of the turn is losing its life force. That was your main action, a very successful one. But you see, it's not enough, most certainly, to bring it down. Now you still have movement and extraction.
Can I use my extra action before my movement?
What do you mean exactly? Tell me what you have in mind.
So what I would like to do is hoist and hurl the cyborg that I've just striked and throw him towards the one that is embedded in the wall,
So,
if possible.
Hoist and Hurl does indeed activate with your extra action, but in order to actually throw something, because Hoist and Hurl adds level success to your Hoist and Hurl, you need to do a multi-action. As you saw with this cyborg over there that pulled the seat and throw it, you perform the multi-action. First to unload it and then throw it. But you can perform Hoist and Hurl, and it has a duration, so you can do it next turn. That.
Okay, so basically at the moment I'm lifting the cyborg above head ready to throw, and then I could throw next turn?
No, because that will Hoist and Hurl is like getting ready, like focusing with your power to do that.
Oh,
Next
okay.
turn, you should do like a multi-action again to grab it and then to throw it.
Okay, okay, cool.
So let's start with clicking on your meta powers, the power 88 to activate Hoist and Hurl, and let's see the results of this meta power. 77. It could have been better, but still success. You can roll for more successes or activate Hoist and Hurl. It's up to you which button you're going
Let's
to click.
try one more. Let's try one more.
Ooh, a gambler. Yes, that was much
Ooh, that's
better.
better.
With 7 level success. Click now, activate Hoist and Hurl. And it says that you gain 2 additional level success to any power rolls when attempting to push, lift, or toss any target. And underneath it, remember that I told you that you can, each meta power has a modular effect. Each level of success adds one, that was Hoist and Hurl, adds one more. So you have 2 by simply activating it, and 7 with your 7 level success, to a total of 9 levels of success, which is massive when you're gonna throw something when it's the next cycle. You still have time, and you're probably gonna throw something very, very far. But now you only have your movement up to 10 hexagon, and then Marcus gets ready to play.
I'm probably gonna stay where I am because I'm gonna be thinking about the old man next to me.
As you're thinking of the old man, if you're trying to protect anyone or whatever, you see the old man opening up your energy drink, smelling it, taking a sip, really, really nonchalant about what is going on left and right. So, no movement.
No movement. I'm just staying here.
All right. Then it is Marcus's turn to play. There are no attacks of opportunity in this game, but you are engaged in melee with this cyborg. I'm just removing to the next hexagon so you can move your token with more ease. But
Okay.
imagine that it's in exactly same hexagon, but you are. And tell me what you have in mind.
Well, you see Marcus is seeing these things, and it is just, with the he doesn't know much about I mean, the basic knowledge about electricity, item stuff, but he doesn't have the whole I wish he had a technical skill about how machinery works that would probably work out better. But he's thinking it's what is this thing is in front of him? He sees his buddy behind him, and this thing is just spots right there. He basically sticks his hand out, it glows, and he's gonna shoot a lightning bolt, hitting this one ahead of him and the one behind him.
Let me show you how this works. Let's say that first of all you take one step back, because remember that is in the same hexagon that you are.
Yeah, right there.
As you can see, this is where it is. So this is how the lightning bolt goes, and as you can see, you can perfectly hit both of them. So yeah, you can most certainly try. How you can do that? You open your character sheet, you go to your meta powers, and you go to lightning bolt, and you click the reflexes on that line in the middle of the line.
Okay.
35 is a success. You could go for higher, you could go for lower. You can choose to destiny or activate. It's up to you. With more success, you can do more damage and stuff like that.
I'm gonna tap one
also...
destiny and see if I'm just gonna try
another gambler. Yes, that gamble paid off, because now you have 3 levels of success. So now, unless you want to go for 4 and test your push your luck, click activate lightning bolt and let's see what it does. It automatically rolls for damage, and now targets receive total of 62 damage, as you can see underneath, and the conditions pain 2 and muscle injury 2. These are especially pain condition is very troublesome, because it applies it actually reduces all of their rolls. Now you have 3 levels of success to spend, and you have options. First of all, the effect has the retracting property, which means that you can actually make it shorter, but it's okay. You don't really, there is no collateral damage here. If it was like the little girl over here, for example, you could reduce, but there is no one there. So what you can do, you have 3 options, and you have 3 levels of success. With every 1 level of success that you spend, you can increase the damage by 1d10. By every 2 levels of success, you can extend by 1 hexagon the area of effect. But since there is nobody here, nor here, nor here, you don't really have to do that. But by spending all 3 levels of success, you can increase the level of the conditions by any level of the conditions, not all of them, by 1 level. Just to explain. First of all, you can spend all 3 levels of success to increase the damage by 3d10. Or choose pain or muscle injury and increase it by 1 level. If you hover your mouse over where it says pain, you can actually see with an acronym what it does, but I will explain to you all the conditions. Actually, wherever you see over here a dotted line underneath, it's an acronym which you can hover and learn more information. Pain reduces level of success from all the successful rolls. With pain 2, it reduces 2 levels of success. With pain 3, that's 3 levels of success. And muscle injury reduces by 5% their power. So now they have a -10. If you choose to increase it, they will have -15. So you have 2 basically 3 options: damage, pain, or muscle. It's up to you.
I want to do the 3d6 or 3d10
3d10
damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not Dungeons and Dragons, only d10s, please. Now, I would like you to type something because we haven't actually included that part where you can click the level of success and it will automatically roll the damage. I want you to, that's in a future version, I want you to go underneath the chat and write /roll spacebar 3d10 times 10 and click enter. I'm gonna type it with some spaces. Oops, it actually rolled it, but
so it's 3d10 times 10.
I will write it with some asterisks, and you can just remove the asterisks. Okay.
Okay.
It's that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So without the asterisks and the spaces.
All right, I'm gonna roll it.
You could spend the destiny if you want it but it's above average and it will add to the 62. So right now you will do 78 damage to all three of them. Is that enough for you? Is that good for you?
Yeah, and it's
All
just.
right. As you can see, it most definitely did hurt them, and they are much more susceptible to electricity than they are to bullets or punches. So you're most obviously everyone involved is surprised as a massive lightning bolt is hurled out of Marcus's hands. Like the might of an impending storm, a surge of electrical power surges through them, and these cyborgs yell out in pain with the mechanical voices, and they churn with the burnt flesh and metal parts. And now you still have your movement and extraction, and with that, the first initiative, the first round will conclude.
All right, so I know my movement, but what about? I don't know if I have any extra actions.
Extra actions when it comes to your meta powers, no, you don't. But you can do something like perception roll or like manipulation roll and try to convince someone, or awareness roll to get what your instincts tells you about what's going on, or like consciousness roll to remember how you came here. Just tell me what thoughts would cross Marcus's mind, and we can translate it to a roll. Of course, you can do nothing. It's up to you.
Yeah, not much. My thoughts about that one. He's just gonna probably back off, and he wants to get move right about here, get behind the seats. So I guess. So I move how many meters do I move?
You can move up to 20 meters. As long as it's green, you can move. You can move up to there and continue your movement. You should have like 4 more
right about there.
hexagons. All right.
Yeah. So
You
is
can
this the
also
door?
spend your reflexes to like hide as your extra action or something. Yeah, probably it's not
I
gonna be
have a
easy.
question. Is that a door right there?
Yeah, it's a door. Yeah.
He wants to go to the inn right there in extra action, see if the door is open, like kind of discount.
Yeah, you can only spend one of your action, one of your movement, no action needed, and it's locked. But you can spend your extra action if you want now to bash it open or.
Yeah, he wants to
No.
try to think he can bash it open.
All right, roll me a power roll. You can actually see just a simple power roll as your extra action to give it a kick.
Okay.
Nothing bad would happen, but it won't open for sure.
No, that's
Unless
fine.
you want to spend.
It's no. I'm keeping what I got. It's just he was just trying to see if the door was open.
All right. At this point, as the first round of the initiative concludes, I would like to make sure first that everybody wants to make a break. And how are you well with the time? I said that we might go up to 6:30 my time. Yeah, of course, this is my time. But we are theoretically we're up to 20 minutes max to reach the max. How are you, everybody, with the time? What's everybody with the time?
I'm good.
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe within the next 20 minutes we can most certainly conclude this action scene, and it's up to you for how much you want to stay for the epilogue and feedback. And now we continue again with the cyborgs. It is the one who attacked you, Marcus, who tried to grapple you, and you most certainly damaged it. So you've suddenly drawn its attention, and it will run straight to you and will just hit you with its best punch that it has. A new round means you all have your reactions. For example, I think only Kenny spent your reaction, so you have your reaction. Right now, it's Marcus's turn to avoid a nice punch. Oh, it's not a nice punch actually. A pretty bad punch because it's in pain and it is actually muscle injured. So it just punches the air. Was just one thing inside. Was pretty certain, but it's tense and you're one lucky man. What it does though is sits, it moves and goes, blocking your passage to the door. So like not allowing you to leave. And as its extra action, will prepare meta power effect apparently, but it won't succeed. You don't really see what it does, but whatever it is, it's not gonna work. Let's go with the one who was after Kenny. Kenny shot it, but now it will change its mind because that's what cyborgs do, and they will actually flank Magnus. And even though there is no actual mechanic of flanking, much like Dungeons & Dragons, I will give it a bonus because it will attempt to strike at one from behind your back. I will give it a 50% bonus, but you can spend your reaction to evade if it's successful, and it is very successful. Magnus, would you like to evade that? I will change the playlist. Enough of the metal. Let's go to more epic playlist as we move closer.
It's just one.
Second round. So Magnus, up to you. You want to evade this particular strike?
Yes, I am going to try and move out of the way of it. So
all right,
reflexes.
you need to spend your reaction and reflex roll, simple reflex rolls, click your reflexes. And you need to be more successful than this one is. It has 4 levels of success, you have 5 levels of failure. So with 97, you are most certainly not going to evade it.
Can I gamble one?
You can gamble up to 5 times. Remember that you need at least once to survive. Ooh, with 3 levels success though, you remove 3 levels, so you almost evaded it. I don't think you can go much better than a result of 8. But I would suggest, I would strongly suggest not to spend any more. But instead of having a horrible strike behind your back, you're gonna have just a bad strike behind your back. It only rolled just 1, but the thing is, you still receive. You're an armored man. You received 72 points of damage and a few conditions. Only with 1 level of success, you only receive a skin condition and let's say no, it's only 1. You don't actually bleed. So yeah, the Foundry made you bleed, but you don't actually receive the bleeding condition. It's okay. You just receive a skin injury. Skin injury reduces your reflexes. You just have a bruise on your back as it struck you on your back without honor, I may say. And you've been hit before in your athletic life, but never something that's made of metal, partly made of metal. You reckon you're not gonna survive many of them. As you can see, you're severely damaged. And now you're gonna move to yet another who is attacking you, but this one is gonna perform a multi-action because it did before and it failed. And cyborgs have feelings, and you've hurt his feelings by evading his strikes, and now this is gonna take only 2 multi-actions, so it's gonna go jab. The first one, it's unsuccessful. I will also remove a bit of its life because it is bleeding. I almost did forget about it. And the second one, actually, I'm rolling the wrong command. Now I'm gonna roll the correct command. That's why I believe this one will be successful. Yes, I manifested it into reality. Open the rolls, no cheating here from your narrator. You already spent your reaction to avoid the one behind you. So by the time you turn, you realize, oh my god, how powerful hits. Whoa, the one is failing, but the other hits you, and you receive further of 49 points of damage. Already at 79. You're unarmored, you only have 30 life left. This one doesn't produce any other, so it doesn't break any of your bones and stuff like that, but the mere size and weight of it, you everybody see that Magnus is a pretty bad state there. But unfortunately for you, we still have one more cyborg that's gonna attempt something very, very weird. Looking at Kenny, it focuses for a bit, nothing happens. So now instead, it's gonna move to Kenny, and it's gonna go with one and done, one powerful strike. Kenny, you do have your reflexes. Do your best to avoid it if you want. Because it is successful with 2 levels of success. Besides being in pain, it's still successful. It really barely made it, but so any success you make, it's going to be enough to avoid it with your reflex. Up to you. So Kenny, you're getting yes, you're learning the system and you successfully avoid it. You see, it was shaking from the electricity that it received before, and on the last minute, it shakes the very last second, and where it would hit your jaw, it hits the air instead. And with that, it realizes that Kenny, they still have their intelligence. It realizes that Kenny and then Marcus is dangerous. So now what it does is actually cowardly move behind the little girl. And now it's Kenny's turn to play.
What a tool.
The cyborg hiding behind the little girl.
Oh, wow. Coward. I guess I would be at a minus if I still try to hit it.
You don't have any minuses right now. If you try to make an aimed roll at its chest, as you've very observantly noticed before, you will have a minus 15. And as for the damage, this one that's hiding behind the girl and the one that is on Marcus are the more severely damaged, the one that were damaged by the lightning. The other two are at a better state.
I'm going to hit the one that's severely damaged by Marcus.
All right. You aim, but they're engaged, they're very close to one another, so if you fail by 5 or more levels of success, you might hit Marcus, fair warning. But you need to open your character sheet, go to your possessions, right click on perception 46, and
I think I messed that up. Did I mess that up?
Yes, with 5 exactly, you're gonna hit Marcus, so you might want to spend your destiny right now, because that's exactly the amount you need to hit Marcus. So it's pretty bad.
You said I was supposed to right click, but I left clicked instead.
It still has a minus 10. It still has a minus 10 for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. So we're good. So just spend destiny. Click the button. Now you're gonna miss terribly on the like ceiling, but you're at least not gonna hit Marcus. Or you can spend more destiny. You still have quite a lot, and we're not gonna play for much more. So it is a fair suggestion. Now you're gonna hit Marcus again. You're choosing between timelines as you see yourself almost hitting this comrade of yours, but destiny is still on your side. Of much destiny on your side. Yes, finally you're successful. So you can click the button underneath, use Beretta, and and fire the damage.
Say that again? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the second button now, which we roll when you're successful.
Oh.
8, 9, that's a pretty good. 63 more damage is quite enough to bring it to its knees. Because you shoot at its heart and it collapses in a state between death and incapacitation. Whatever it is, Marcus doesn't feel harmed by it anymore. Now you still have your perception, you still have your extra action, your movement. How you want to conclude your round?
I'm fine where I'm at. I'm confident.
Cool. Then let's move to Magnus. Reminder, you still have 9 level of success to any attempts of hurling, lifting, what else? Let me check. Push, lift, or toss anything.
So I want to lift the cyborg that is in front of me that has the oil about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really a throw, but let's go for kind of a suplex onto the other one.
That was what I was
behind
thinking.
us.
You can go like a
So we're going
suplex.
boom, over the shoulder, straight
Alright.
down. Let's mess him
That
up.
requires a multi-action, and the first one is gonna be a power roll, which requires you to right-click it, and it's not a bonus or a penalty, but says select the total number of multi-actions. You're gonna click that. You're gonna click 2. The first one needs to succeed, and the second one will add the 9 level of success. So the first one will need succeed. And unfortunately for you, the cyborg will attempt to evade it. So you need to master as many levels of success during your first roll. Not so much in the second roll. The second roll already has 9 to it. So the first one, you need to spend as much destiny as you want. And
It's a success. How many
because
success?
it's a simple success. Will it be enough? Because I'm telling you, this cyborg is gonna spend its reaction to evade it.
Okay,
I don't know
I'm gonna
how
go again.
fast it is. It's up to you. Oh, critical success! Wow! With 3 only destiny remaining, you accumulate 10 levels of success. I'm just rolling in case we have double. No, it's not gonna succeed at all. So you grab it and now make another power roll, which has like so many levels of success, man. Like you already have like a almost 0.9. So what really happens, because you have like the first one, you grabbed it, and the excess level of success will translate to a massive bonus, which I will give you right now. And also like 9 level success. Man, that's enough to pick it up, suplex it, and basically plunge both of them deep inside the floor. The floor crumbles, and both of them fall in the floor underneath you, and they are gone from this map. And you hear like almost like explosions, and like the floor is collapsing. Things are falling underneath it. Maybe they fall many floors underneath as you see them falling and exploding. And you almost certainly that these two are done so. Wow, how would you like to conclude this round?
I look to the old man, cough a little blood from the damage that I've had. By any chance, my kind gentleman, would you have painkillers or something that might help me focus for the rest of this battle?
That was something that I actually haven't seen in all my long years. A hammer able to hit two nails at the same time and actually destroy them in such a spectacular manner, my friend, you are deserving much more than a painkiller. And with a mere touch of your hand, we go to the next player. But first, I tell you that you miraculously start to feel something. Whoa! I made a mistake. Can we go backwards? Fuck. It is Marcus's turn. Sorry, Marcus. I fucked up a bit. And now actually cannot go backwards. Shit. Actually, QP, I don't know how to fix that. Because I actually pressed next instead of press next twice. So how can we go maybe over here, go to straight to Marcus's turn? Anyway, Marcus, tell me what you want to play. I think I've done something. Yeah, I think it's Marcus, it's your turn. Yeah, so you can play. Yeah, never mind the yellow rolls because it's something is bugged. You still have your full movement. So you can move up to 20 meters. So up to there it's 14. You can. It's fine. You can go with ease.
Marcus,
I think you're muted. Wait, you're muted. Yeah, you're muted. Muted warning.
Sorry. So he walks up there. He's just slowly walking, and you can literally see there is electricity curling around his hands, and he has this big frown, and like he's pissed. It's like he's one of the slow to anger kind of guys, but he sits there, and it's like it's like he looks at this and he points at his hand. It's like goodbye, and he basically just shoots a lightning bolt right in that creature's face.
All right, activate that meta power again.
Okay.
So you go to your lightning bolt, you click on your reflexes. 004, an excellent activation, accumulating 5 levels of success. I'm guessing go straight to activate lightning bolts.
Yep.
Wow. And with 5 levels of success, again, you can increase the conditions, you can expand, or you add up to 5d10 levels of damage. You're already staggering 79.
I'm gonna do the 5d10.
All right, remember it's slash, roll, spacebar, 5d10, x10, enter. So you have already 79, and woo, 2 dents. Total of 37, over 100 elemental damage is super enough truly to send it to another dimension. And with that, conclude this action scene, but not the session just yet, unless anyone is really in a hurry to end it.
Oh, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So these guys didn't change until she said something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
Marcus,
those-
so she,
Yeah.
so she's still up there, right?
Yep.
So
She's
Marcus.
It was actually like something like, yeah. So tell me what you're gonna do first. Yeah, sorry.
Well, so he's like, it's like these people didn't start changing until like, the person on stage said something, start talking, and as soon as she says something, everybody starts freaking out, turning all these creatures, and he looks up to her up there, and he's like, and he wants to walk right about, let's see, like right about here.
Yeah, you
And
can move freely now.
Okay, that's it. It's okay. He moves right about the edge right here, and he's like, he yells up to this like, lady, did you call these people to come like this?
Worry not, Marcus, because these people were not actually people. They were figments of our collective imagination coming to life. Indeed, says the narrator from the stage, this is indeed part of the performance. The woman over here continues on the balcony and says, we wanted to see what you can do, and you didn't disappoint. You are individually very strong. He looks most certainly at Magnus, and then turns to Kenny and says, and even though without actually using your powers, you've managed to resolve the situation quite efficiently. This man, which is a well-dressed man over here, really not paying any attention to you, just smirks and with a snob looks at his face, laughs, and then is Marcus, who hears the whisper of the little girl behind his back saying, again the whispers, and as you hear, very well, geneticist, very well indeed. And it Magnus says, life, you see, you hear the bones cracking back, you see the holes like in the wounds of the back rejuvenating with a warm sensation by the touch of this man. And you realize that basically all of you are the presence of other Metanthropes, such as yourself, but probably more powerful than yourselves. And the usher continues and says, I'm pretty certain that all of you have many questions about what you just experienced. Who are the others that came with you? Who are we here? What is a Metanthrope, and what lies beyond the vast multiverse that exists out there? These are questions that should be best answered during another story.